I consider myself a planner, right? I plan out my life and I'm like, okay, this is the plan and you're going to stick to the plan. But then sometimes life is like, no, F your plan. I've got another plan. And so that's sort of, what happened. So anyway, I am done in my B6 Slim Time Traveler notebook. And this is the Outlander Chic Sparrow. I loved this notebook. It's beautiful. I loved the size of this notebook and I was pretty happy in it. And I did a video showing what my setup was probably going to look like in my B6. And this is also Outlander in the Highland color, which is just a beautiful deep green by Chic Sparrow. And I was like all set and ready to move into this. I did talk about how I wasn't going to be able to finish out February in this guy. And I thought I would move into this probably mid-February. It's still February and I'm filming this in advance. So I am actually in here. So this is my, again, an Outlander leather by Chic Sparrow. And this is in the color wine. And this is in the side wide. So it's about, I don't even know, is it like a half an inch to an inch wider than the standard or narrow sized traveler's notebook. So basically, I have still not moved into here. And here's the reason why. I just felt like I wanted to know what it was like to be in one traveler's notebook for a little bit. And so that's what I did. I did go ahead and put one of these awesome beads that I had shown in a previous haul. That if you hold down, they have like this mood ring coating. So they change colors. Isn't that cool? And I put that on here and I think it kind of goes. I don't know. I like it. So let me show you my setup in here. So this notebook traditionally has always been for my writing. This is my writing traveler's notebook. And I really wanted to be all in one place. So in here at the top, I have this, and you've seen this before. This is my traveler's notebook or traveler's company insert. And it has, this is like the weekly insert where it has a week on one page and then memo on the other side. And this is the one that you can go ahead and fill in as you go. But I use this basically for my mundane journal so that I can keep track of a few things that I tend to go back to, whether I'm writing or I just need to know some specific things. I love that. And it's not on a string because again, see like how it's like almost an inch? Is it like almost an inch? So it's like a half an inch wider. This is a standard cut. And I just leave it off of a string because it doesn't really need to be. I use this like for the last 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of my day and fill it out and it just goes right there. Now this is something I added in here. So this is a standard size zippy pouch. And this is like the Midori brand that I got from Amazon. And you can obviously see that it's a little bit more narrow than this, because this is actually an A5 Slim, which is, basically, gosh, there's so many different names, which is basically the same size as a Moleskine large, if you can kind of see there. Yeah, but it fits in here fine. Now you get a little bit of bulk because this usually sticks out or rather over the insert. So if I put an insert, you see how it sticks over it? Well, this one doesn't because it's shorter. So it's kind of like getting stuck in between and causing a little bit of, added bulk there. And that's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. I don't feel like it's pushing up against any of these and bending it in any odd kind of a way because I keep the string on here like loose. So it's not really like, an issue, if that makes sense. And I did add some tabs. Yay, tabs. I was trying to get away with not having tabs because they kind of annoy me. But then I was like, I really need tabs. And I found these ones that I bought a long time ago. And I felt like they were short enough and they were just plain enough that it wasn't like a big deal. I know they're not like Carrie Harling beautiful, but we can't all be her. She's just too awesome. All right. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Anyway, so I have the zippy pouch in here because I finally have a monthly boxed calendar, which I have been missing so much, you guys. I can't even believe I've lived this long without it. I just love it. Even if it's just to like decorate. I'm not really big into decorating things, but I always like to decorate my monthly calendar. And so I put a bunch of stickers in here that, you know, I use for the monthly calendar. Let me show you, like, I have page flags in here, and of course some of these that I got from PWM, and these are all monthly calendar, not monthly calendar, but these are all calendar stickers that I love. I just love them. I just think they're the funniest, cutest little things. They make me happy when I see them in my planner, and I've missed them so much. And then I also have this guy that I haven't moved everything out of because, I mean, I could keep this in here, but it's so short even. I don't know. I'm just going to keep it in the zippy pouch. That's why I was like, do I keep this in here or do I go with a zippy pouch that's more of the size? So I just have a bunch of other stickers in here that I use for my monthly planning. I love these little pandas. Oh my gosh, pandas are so cute. But yeah, all of this stuff is going to go in here. It's going to add a little bit of bulk, but I don't care. I don't mind as much anymore. And then I have these stencils that for the life of me, I keep forgetting to use. I mean, I do use them and I love them when I do use them, but I forget about them constantly. And I'm in love with these. These are the masking stickers. Yeah, that's what they're called. I got them on Amazon. And I've been using these a lot just to add a little bit of washi to a page, and it just makes me happy. I don't even know. Okay, so all of this stuff needs to go in here somewhere. When you try to add everything into a notebook, every little bit counts. So I'm not going to add those in here right now. And then, which is another reason why I love these little dashboards, because you can just shove things in there and it's totally fine. Sweet. Okay, sorry. So back to this. Anyway, I put the zippy pouch in here. It's pretty thick. I mean, look at that. We'll see how much it bothers me. If it bothers me, I can do the same thing I did with these guys where I didn't put them on a string. I just you know, keep them on top, kind of like this guy, and it doesn't have to be around anything, so I can move them out when I'm writing so that I have a more flat surface, and that's perfectly fine. But for right now, it's all on a zippy pouch. And you know, as much as I thought, man, this is going to be so much heavier, it doesn't seem like it. And this is going to be my everyday carry, everything all in one place. I can't even believe I'm trying this out. Didn't I tell you I was going to be crazy and try this out? I think I did. And here I am. So, okay. Sorry, I'm starting this over again and again and again. Zippy pouch. I just put this here because sometimes I just need to know what day of the week it is or what's happening immediately, and having to open and flip through pages to find it is just, you know, not what I'm going to do. So I just taped it here. We'll see how it goes. If it rips off, you know, whatever. If I try to use this as a tracker, that could be something I could also do. I don't even know. But there it is. My Midori planner that I ended up getting from, I can't remember if I ended up getting this from Tokyo Pen Shop because they were selling them. That's where I originally saw the video for them. And I did a whole like long ass video about these if you want to check it out. And I love this insert. So here's the struggle with these dated inserts. I feel like I want to use them all year round, but I feel like when I'm done with this, I might want to try out having all of my stuff, my writing and planning, all in one place again. And I might want to do that in here, but then it's like I have this insert that I bought, right? This calendar that's for the whole year. And so I feel like I'm going to have to use it, right? Because I feel obligated. So I can either take this out and carry it separately because it's obviously not going to fit in here. Or just, you know, give it a break for a couple of months, which would really bother me because I bought it. And I had that struggle with the Hobonichi. And I think a lot of people do when you just like set it down and leave it alone for a while because that planner's not working for you anymore. You just feel like you're wasting money. And I know that that's not really the case because even if I use this for like 4 months, I've gotten my money's worth in my opinion, but I just feel like anxiety about it. I don't know. So anyway, let me show you what I'm doing in here. On the back of this page, I just have this sheet for my bills, which I won't show you because I already have it filled out, but I have shown in other videos. And then I have these. calendars in here also that I could be using for some kind of tracking or something. And I even wrote down a little note here to myself. This is just in friction, so I can erase it. I have not utilized this at all. Again, I could be doing something with this, so I'm going to try to do that. You can see here that in December, I actually wasn't using this. I think I ended up getting it like around here. And so this was like pretty minimal. I didn't really use this at all. Then we have January, which I did actually use it, but I didn't like decorate or anything because I was just like, you know, in 2 different planners, so I wasn't taking the time to make it pretty or anything like that. And then I just have some personal writing where I was doing some days where I just needed to make some notes for things. I added washi there. So the second week of February, my father passed away, and I know that if you've been following my channel, you were aware that he was ill, but I have to say my father died at 91 at home in his bed of old age, and you can't really hope for better than that. You just can't. So it was something we all knew was coming. It was a long process of watching him deteriorate over about 6 months, but it's just a healing time right now, and I'm okay with all of that. But I didn't get any writing done for the whole month of February. We're not even done with February, we're like right here. But I just kind of gave myself a pass on February. I think anybody would. They understand why I just couldn't write. If you're a writer or create, I just needed some time to just sit and be present, because when you have anxiety disorder, that's what you try to do. Just be present and feel what you're feeling. So this is pretty bare because of that. I did try to fill out some things here. So when I decided I was going to move in here on the 16th, which was yesterday, I don't know what it'll be when I upload this, so again, I'm filming this in advance, but I tried to recreate what I had in here just to see how it would go. So this is what I had in here for the month, and I just had appointments, you know, Instagram and YouTube, llamas love lettering every damn day, exercise and cleaning. So I was able to do that here. Let me show you a blank one. Okay, and I did show this in my video of the review of these guys. I'll see if I can pull it up and you can tell or not. But these are actually 2 different columns. So here's a column here and then a column here. The line is like divided right here, and there's like these tiny, tiny dots there. I don't know if you can tell, but so that's what it reminded me of when I decided to sit down and recreate what I have in this planner in here. And so you can see that this is its own column, its own column, its own column, its own column. And so I started here in the 16th, and I just wrote down to the 28th because that's how many days are in February, short month. And I thought, well, there's not 31 down, so how would I do this in March? So I went ahead and I pre-decorated for March, and I'll have to put pictures up later on Instagram when we get closer to March. Just to kind of see how I would do it. And actually 31 days goes into like where all of these boxes are down here. But it was okay. I just like wrote over the boxes and there was like no worries. Now I have to figure out, and I just put some things here like bills that I needed to pay still for the month because they're due towards the end to be completely done with my bills for the month. And then I just needed to figure out how to put in, okay, so a weekly like in January it looked like this. So I usually have my box calendar because I missed it so much. I started to include it in my weekly, which I don't think I'll have to do anymore because I obviously have this. But this was just so that I could look all at one place, because this guy used to be basically just like forward planning where I would just write things kind of in advance of how I hoped they would go, or like appointments that were already scheduled. And this is what was actually going to happen for the week. And I kind of would just pull from here. So I don't know if I want to recreate this and just like pull from here or not. I haven't made that decision, which is funny because I figured I was going to plan this in this video right now. So there's that. I need a space for meal planning and groceries. And then I need my buy list, which actually this is an old one. I've changed to my waiting on list. And then next week has always been super helpful to see what's coming up. So these 2, I don't really need all that bad, but the meal planning and the next week I've found that are very useful. They're very useful, as well as the Ellister method. So where am I going to put that? Okay. Um, there isn't any space really enough here to do the Ellister method, and obviously in March, because I took up all this space, there won't be any at all. So I decided that in the back here, because I wanted to keep it all in one space instead of putting like my weeklies in a different notebook. And I'm just going to try that out. And again, I think I'm only going to be in here until February, which is like another couple of weeks. And then I had to take out a ruler, you guys. A lazy planner took out a ruler. I know. I feel like I'm letting you guys down. And I drew this out for my Ellister method because I wanted to have it all in the same place, but the note pages like this, they're just lined, so there's no grid. So yeah, I took out my trusty ruler and I measured this out and I got it done. It's not exactly even on the edge here, but I did what I could do as a person who can't draw a very good straight line. And I kept it in pencil in case I decided to change my mind later, which later is now, and I still don't know how I feel. So I'm just gonna go with it. And for this month, I decided to give my friction pens a break because I am panicked that I'm going to start using friction in my planner, which I don't mind, but then I'm going to go to my actual writing in the back here that's long term, that, you know, is like my life, and use friction, and then I'm going to be screwed later when I try to throw this in my zircon, or, you know, because of the heating situation, and my journals tend to end up in my zircon, which, you know, goes through hot and cold because it's outside. So I decided to give these a break and go with just pencil, which I love, and also give these High-Tech C's a chance. And this one is in the 0.4 and it's the blue black. And this is the one I liked more than the one that had the grip, because the grip one was a little bit scratchy and I didn't care for that. So this is going to be my pen for the month. We'll see how that goes. You all know that I've done that in the past where I picked a pen for the month and then I lost it. So I do have a backup blue pen that I like to use as well, because I wanted these pens so badly and I love them, and it's finally time for me to use them. So the Signo, and I have this in a 0.28 and a 0.38, and I'm going to go with a 0.38 for right now in the blue. So this is stuff that has to do with my library schedule, and that is in the Signo but in red, so that it stands out more to me. And then I have a couple notes here in the Signo in black and in blue. And that's pretty much all I've put here, because I'm in the situation because of my father's passing and just kind of dropping the ball in February. I have to go back through all of my notes here in the back, which is this insert that I've shown before. And this is by Pencil or Pen. And I have two inserts in one. So this is the dot grid insert that's 50 pages here. There. And then inside of it, I have this insert because it was so thin. And this is my quarterly goals. I have to go back through this and look at all the stuff that I might have accomplished, which is not much, in February, and then rewrite it for March and make some executive decisions on timing, whether I'm going to try to double up some of these things or not. I'm only against my own deadline. I started this book, I think, in June or July. And so right now it looks like it's going to take me a whole year to write a book, which is not a crazy amount of time for writers, but I was trying to really get this done in 4 months, maybe 6 months, and it looks like that's not going to happen, which is fine. We just got to adjust and keep working on it, right? So I've got to do that and fill out the rest of this calendar later, because I've got to sit down and pull out my magic 8-ball and make some executive important decisions, and that's how I make all my decisions, with a magic 8-ball. Don't judge me. Anyway, so that has to happen there. I have this already decorated, because whether or not I move everything into here, I feel like I'm going to try to use this for something, so that's why I decorated it, but I don't plan on being in this in March. And then of course I moved in my TV shows list. I'm just going to recopy this list really quickly, and I'm going to do that here in the blue black. Okay, so that is this bottom one I always do here. Let me show you. Like this. And this is this week, which I already like filled out in here. So I don't know if I want to redo it or not, because we're here. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's this part. And then this part over here, I'm going to leave blank because I just add stuff in as it comes to me. And that will all take up here, which is a lot more space than I already had in my other one. So I think that will be fine. Shove this under it to make it a little more even. There we go. Haha. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this washi tape on here and decorate it because it matches with the month. That way I'm less confused by what's happening, I think. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I don't see my black Sharpie. I'm just going to use gray, and then if I find my black one later, I will go over it because that's, oh well, let me see, hold on. I have a fatter one. Let's just use a fatter one. So it's nice and bold and totally fine. Okay. So let's see here. Crap, is this, oh, this one's gonna go through. Sharpie, why are you doing this to me? Okay. And I'm not used to the skinny pen. Like, I'm used to the fat one, and it's so, like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get used to that. So next week is gonna go here, and then I will highlight this because this gel pens, they just take forever to dry. And I will highlight it later. And then I need a space for waiting on, which I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 above. And put waiting on. I'm trying to write this straight, so it's rough writing because I turn when I write so that I write properly. Okay, so anyway, there's those two. And then I could do mill planning right here. Like I could just make a list, or I could put mill planning over here on the bottom. No, I mean, I could do it Alistair method style. Again, planning. The world does not care. All right, and what else? So mill planning. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with that mill planning? So annoying. I guess I could put it here. So how many spaces do I need for that? That other space next to the calendar for something else. So usually here I write down what I actually did. So the way I use this is I write out all of the stuff I want to do for writing. So like this week, maybe I want to work on 1 chapter or 2. I write out what days I'm working on what chapter, right? And what book. Sometimes I work on a short story that week, whatever. And then over here, I actually write what I actually did that day. So I can track my writing and what actually happened. So this is what I hope will happen. This is what actually does happen. And I want to kind of continue that because, you know, it works for me. Nice. All right. Which I think I forgot to put a space between, well, there doesn't need to be space here, but I forgot to put a space between here and here. I might not use all 7, so that's fine. All right. You live, you learn. Okay. What else? Oh my gosh. I'm like bending everything here. All right. So meal planning, check. Groceries. I'm just going to make the list all the way down. I'm not even going to worry about that. Waiting on, I have that next week. And then I have my 2 Alistair methods here. And then this guy is going to be next. And we'll see how that goes. This is January. Okay. So I can go ahead and put dailies back here if I need that much space for it. 1 page or 2. Or if I don't add to this list because I already bought groceries. So those won't really go here. Sometimes during the week you need like 1 or 2 things for a meal. But you don't need like to buy actual groceries. I might not need all this space. So I can go ahead and put like my dailies over, let me show you. Here, I was just writing some notes for the dailies and I wrote straight across, but I could just use the 1 column if I wanted to. And then on certain days that I really don't need to write anything out, that's fine. Which means I'm going to have to heavily rely on my Alistair method, which I used to before I was like, oh, I need to incorporate dailies. I can put trash here and say I want to do it here on Tuesday and just do all of that. And then what I would usually do is I would make a big old list for Tuesday and probably a majority of it would happen. And then some days only a few things on that Tuesday would happen and there would be like a lot of forwards. So what I like to do is take everything for the Tuesday and actually write down on Tuesday, like write Tuesday here, and write down what I'm actually going to do that day. And then everything else gets forwarded or not done, and that's fine. That's usually what my dailies are for, but you don't really need them if you don't want to, like, it's just easier, I think, to see it than to look through all of this. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks until March. And then I'm going to make the executive decision via 8-Ball, whether or not I'm actually going to move into this in March. I think it's a great idea. I love my setup. It's the same as this one here, which is sort of the same that's in here. Right now I have a planning insert. I have my writing insert, which is this one. And then this one is just my main project insert that I'm working on my book right now. So that's the only added thing. And then I have this, which is also in here. So, I don't know. I'm sorry if this was really confusing. It's confusing to me, and this is how I work out my process. So I don't know. Anyway, and definitely check me out on Instagram because I update that more. I did update that I was going to be using this instead of this after I put the video up for it. It was just a decision that had to be made. But I think I want to start March in here because I love green. Green reminds me of March, obviously, because of St. Patrick's Day and everything. And this is just that gorgeous, gorgeous green. I couldn't think of a better month to use it in. But now I'm thinking I kind of like being in one place. And so if I can get this calendar to work for me, that's what will happen. So we'll see how it all goes. All right. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.